on the board, and we go racing here in Jamaica. So Mads Peter, it's going to be a drag race to turn 1. Steinberg gets a jump start. From that one, Mads is going to cover the inside. And they're all going to start to file in as they all head into 1. Layla going wide, almost making contact. Oh, and the leader, Mads, goes way too deep. He runs off the track. What a mistake from him. And that's huge for this championship. Peter's also tagged around. And the front drivers do not play nice. It's Sven to the lead, followed by Christian, Romao, and Eamon. It's the first time we've ever seen a turn 1 incident that big. Wow! And it happened with the fastest drivers. Not the ones who they'd call a skill issue with. That is absolutely chaotic here in this one as they enter in the 3rd sector for this 20-minute event. Now Santos all over the rear of Eamon. Eamon's gonna make it easy. How does he rejoin? He gets right out the way. And Eamon, pressure. That's all I gotta say. That is absolute pressure from your championship leader to Eamon Nasseir. And now Eamon's gonna have to get going now because behind is Layla. Trying to go through behind. I did see Matt slide the rear for the moment. I think it was just a mistake by himself. So the top 2 start to exit this picture. Santos now the kind of lead pack of these 2, followed by Layla and Mike. I have a feeling that Van Dorn may be able to get this move done around the final couple of corners. Meanwhile, there's contact! Martin Webster spins out. He goes wide. Has to head back on the circuit. No, he takes it to the pits. We also have some local yellows at the hairpin section. It's Steinberg. He's found himself adventuring in the forest. Oh, and he's stuck. He's stuck. Evan Steinberg off the circuit. How did he get there? Well, Steinberg, he's out. He's out of this one. There goes 2, 3, P4. And then we swiftly come back to this fight here. Well, that is interesting, isn't it? Oh, and look at that. Regan also going through. Looks like Evan's got himself unstuck. That's great. 2 very great battles to watch out for. But Evan's getting himself unstuck. That's great on him. Ooh, a little bit of a slide there from Mike Van Dorn. Oh, it's a little bit. Maybe was there contact? I don't think so. Oh, there was contact. We're getting notification. Final corner for them. Meanwhile, as they battle, Eamon is just there. If Mads can get this move on Mike Van Dorn, this could be huge. Behind, you see Regan Milana. If they battle less, they can catch up to that fight. It's all clocking down here at the end of race 1. What does Mads do here? Well, he's got just under 7 minutes. He may have an idea to potentially keep this one in 6 so we can have Paul. Or does he go for the points? Both big battles for the championship. Mads and Daniel tie for the championship. Can you believe it? But Santos gets it done at the hairpin. Santos to 2nd. Can we see an identical move here for this one? My goodness, what a race this is. Here comes Fleer. To the outside, cannot get it done. Where is Sven? He's going to start the final lap. We still have another lap to go. And now, look at this. Matt realizing that Santos was got his move done. Matt, you got to get a move now to get this position on Mike Van Dorn, or it's going to be hell to pay in this championship fight. It's what Santos wanted, and it's what he is getting. And now, Christian Romao can be the man to spoil the party if he can get this overtake back on Santos on the final lap in race 1 here at Jam West. Long way around the hairpin. Oh, a lot of lag between the both of them. Not too sure who exactly what that was. Still though, nose to tail. You gotta send it, lick the stamp. Christian, lick the stamp. He doesn't. Santos defends. Hold on there, Santos. Can you do it? Final corner for Sven Versteeg. And he writes off the win he could have got. He's now got it down in his belt. Can Christian Romao get a long way around? No, we cannot. Santos is on the podium. He's third. Make that second. And Mike Van Doorn can be able. He is able. He holds on. He holds on to Mike Van Doorn. Mike Van Doorn, he does it. He holds on Matt Krogsgaard. He does so. The rest of the drivers finish up the order now. It's funny you say that in chat. Sven is Verstappen. They were calling Mads Verstappen. They have fun at the end of the straight. They all kill each other. But oh my goodness, what a race that was! And that was only race 1 of 2. Can you believe it? Hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much for 2,300 subscribers. If you liked the first one, get ready for the second. Let's do this. Race 2 of 2, 20 minutes. Oh, somebody's already made a jump start. He's reversing. He's gone backwards. We go racing. Somebody had an incident at the start of this one. But here we go. It's Krogsgaard in the lead. Oh, and I think Trevini. Oh, he's gone a little deep. Van Doorn's pushed out his teammate. Versteeg. He's gone deep as they all shuffle through. We get going and we're racing. Here, race 2 at Jamaica. Round the outside. And Trevini now. Oh, he's just killed Van Doorn. Oh, he's killed Van Doorn. It's 3 wide. It's 3 wide. They all jumble up. And this is going to get... Well, cover your eyes, kids. This is not going to look good. 3 wide. Heading into T1. Van Doorn, Sabot side by side. Van Doorn goes deep. He runs off the circuit. Anad loses some pace, some time. Peter Sabot trying to go to the inside. Christian Romao side by side, making it 3 wide once again. Van Doorn to the outside, making it through. It's 3 wide to the back. Sven, Trevini, Romao, Peter Sabot going through to 6th. And out side by side with Christian Romao and now Trevini as they head into the hairpin section. They all start to bottleneck here at this part of the track. And they go through. As all this goes down, Mike and Sven, they have a bit of work to do. The Supra just up the road needs to stay on one side of the track, does so. You see just in the background, Christian Romao trying to close up this gap. Really close to doing so. Layla and Tazayaki trying to battle as well. Peter Sabot, however, able to get ahead of all of them. So Peter could be potentially in the proper P6 spot. But once again, may have gone wide potentially. 9 minutes, 19 seconds. Halfway point in the Grand Prix of race 2. Race 1 was a doozy, that's for sure. This one coming down to a stalemate. But big implications nonetheless for the championship if things stay how it is. 3/10 the difference between Sven and Eamon Espeir. About a couple of corners, Eamon running a little bit deep, but just a way better entry. Sven trying to managing his entry and exit, trying to keep as narrow as possible, trying to look to the inside line. There's just no space to do so. Around the final corner. Here, short shift there from Sven into second gear. It's lost him just a bit of time from maybe Eamon, who's keeping it in the same low gear to try to get a better exit. That's what he needs to do. Oh, Regan, contact with Layla potentially. Maybe some front to rear contact between the two. Amir, trouble. Gets it rotated, luckily. Oh no, rotated a little too hard. Leaders are coming up fast. Might needs to stay in the same place. Here comes Mats. Gonna see the Strucken Supra. Santos as well. So Amir's gonna have to obviously stay on the right-hand side. What are you doing? Amir, what have you done? Oh, Amir, that wasn't right. Amir, that was not right. You had to stay on the one side of the track. You cannot cross. No, I don't know what happened and what went wrong. And I don't want to give any hate to Amir there. That might have just been a very, very bad entry due to spinning up the tires or whatnot. I'm not going to blame this one. And I'm not going to say it to throw shade on him. But as a racing driver, you do have to stay on the right-hand side of the track or just off the racing line. There is no reason to cross over. Santos is going to be a man who... Well, oh no! Oh! And Sven takes out Eamon! Sven takes out Eamon! That's fair! Oh, the drama! The drama! Are you serious? Are you absolutely serious? It's what I said! It's exactly what I said! Don't let go of this fight! Because all drama can still happen! Sven and Eamon contact! And now Sven's been taken out! It's two angry drivers here! Damage for Sven, Eamon, trouble, Santos, a chance to get back what he lost. But I don't think it's gonna do it. 1.6, 1.5, it doesn't look like it's gonna happen. Matt Krogsgaard has gotten himself a huge advantage heading to the final round. From P2 to P3 goes Santos. Matt takes P1, he wins it, he wins it. Here at Jamaica, Sven able to capitalize, but may have a penalty coming his way. Santos finishes third. It could be second for him as well. We're unsure. Van Dorn fourth, Ramel fifth, Eamon sixth. Peter finishes down the road. Layla, Milana. Ladies and gentlemen, a championship about to get decided here today. Welcome to the finale of the Caribbean Motor Racing Championship, GT4 Caribbean Championship. We are live at the second home of CMRSC, South Dakota Circuit. And it is time we get this one underway. Qualifying about to come up, and it's gonna be a titanic battle for two drivers looking to get their first title in CMRSC. It's between Mads Krogsgaard against Daniel Santos. So the drivers sitting in pits as practice comes to an end. 15 minutes of qualifying about to get underway. And then, count them, two 25-minute races to come up. And if you joined us last week at Jam West for the Jamaican Grand Prix, well, I think you already know what's in store for this one. So we have 10 seconds until we get the green light up. And we can get this one underway. 10 concurrent viewers, and we're already starting qualifying here. But as the timer ticks down, green light is on, and we're underway. As the drone camera watches from the sky, as all the drivers make their left hand, you see all of them quickly running off onto the main circuit. This one's gonna be a doozy out here. Who's taking pole? The bonus point up for grabs, and the only two that are really gonna be important to gaining it, well, it's Mads or Daniel. That's the real championship fight. As they come around through the wide hairpin, very slow together. And then into the double right-hander. It's gonna get good. It's gonna get fast. Who's taking pole? The Supra, Aston Martin, McLaren, Audi, BMW, Porsche, all going for it. So the drivers putting in their outlap, and they're gonna be coming around to set on the fastest lap time. That's how qualifying's gonna work for these guys. So let's see how it turns out here today. We're looking for the man who's gonna lead us off, and we're gonna start off with him. The Italian of Nasseir, coming out of a very controversial ending where he was just a victim in an incident that was caused in the last corner between himself and Sven. Evan, that's for you. Mic check if you can hear me. Making sure all our drivers in our Discord can hear race direction loud and clear. But we watch Eamon, like I said, going for the podium, finishes outside the podium to an incident, no fault of his own. Sven did take a hefty penalty that did put back Daniel Santos in the second position that he unfortunately lost due to lap traffic in the second race. So it put Mads P1 with 2.5 points ahead of Daniel Santos, that half point belonging to the two formatted races that came up just last week. So as Eamon now enters the famous gooseneck section, let's go on board with him. If you're unfamiliar with South Dakota Circuit, it's one of the most legendary, oldest circuits in the Caribbean. Used to be an airport runway during the World War. Here comes Eamon to the line. The drivers are going to be chasing down a 113.039. Who's going to take it down? Santos does it with a 112.7. Peter Sabot, 112.6. Eyes are on this man here. Oh, and he doesn't go quicker. Solo McLaren in the first round. Mads does not take pole. He goes for a 114.955. So, first round of times are complete. Peter, Daniel, Eamon, Max, Sven. That's your top five at the moment. We look at the championship points going into this finale. We did show it off earlier on. We'll take a look at it right about now. There you go. So there you see it's actually Santos followed by Mads. in the lead for this championship hunt. Christian Ramau, Mike Van Doren, Sven Versteeg coming up behind. Those are your top contenders for this one. And we're also getting word Mads is going quicker on this lap. Santos as well. He's got 2 corners left to go. Make that the back straight to the front straight. Crosses the line. 1:12.7. Here comes Mads to the line. He goes fastest with a 1:12.269. The crucial point he needs to knock it down to a 1.5 point deficit for the championship. So it's Mads on the back foot. He needs every point you can get. Remember last week out in the first race of 2, he started in the front row. Didn't work out for him. Speaking of the front row, it's Sven. He took a race win last week out, race 1 of 2. So no stranger to the top step, that's for sure. But we continue this qualifying session off, still looking for a man who's going to take pole position. If you're just tuning in, welcome to Caribbean Motor Racing Sim Club's finale of the GT4 Caribbean Championship. There you see Van Doren letting through his teammate Versteeg. Ahead of him, he's got the Audi of Danny Nasseir, also on a flyer. More times being updated. Here comes the pack once again. Aiming to the line, stays 5th. Santos, any improvement from him? He does improve in the 3rd sector, but there's nothing that he could be doing to improve there in the 1st and 2nd. And what is chat saying? I have no idea what is going on or what is supposed to be happening, but I'm rooting for Layla because that is the #1 driver that they're going to be supporting. Nice. Great choice. Miss Midnight Bloom, Layla. A former winner in her debut year back at TCR at Donington Park. Speaking of which, next week we begin the DTM World Championship. But to answer your question in chat, I can get you up to speed pretty easily. Very simply. 2 races, 25 minutes. The top 6 in race 1 will get flipped. So if you finish P6 in race 1, you start first for race 2. Stick with me here. The only 2 drivers that I think a lot of the chat's going to worry about is this man here, Daniel Santos, and the man who's currently sitting P1 in the McLaren, Mads Krogsgaard. The championship, 2.5 points, aka winner takes all. So Santos improves his time. He goes to 3rd. Chat saying completely wrong what I said, but well said by you, narrator. Fair enough. But still, to anybody who is now joining us for the first time, welcome. Subscribe if you haven't already. If you need a reason to, stick along just about 8 minutes longer till we get to racing conditions, and that is where you're going to get convinced. I guarantee it. He's a big shot, could you say? Well, a lot of these drivers looking to be the best of the best. If you want to talk about some of the best drivers in CMRC, look no further to this man here. He hits the grass, so not the best time to catch him. But Mike Van Doren, a multi-time race winner, multi-time champion, active still in CMRC to potentially take the record of the most championships. We also have a debut driver here with us, Ian, joining us here. His first round, and he's in the Porsche, the Monster Energy car, so we'll see what he can do throughout this race. Matt's in the pits. We're at about the halfway point of qualifying and still undecided on the top step. Is that 1:12.2 going to stick? We know we love some drama. Mads does too. So if anybody's going to take that time, he is a driver to just surprise us out of nowhere to take back pole for himself. And watch this. We're looking with Sven, the Dutchman, heading to the line. What can he do? Can he improve? He does with a 1:12.340. It's not the fastest lap in qualifying. Now, he could be cheeky and snatch a point away from Mads for Andy Masu Racing. Now, it's not just a driver's championship they're going for. They're also going for the constructors. Project Guardrail Racing. That's the team of Daniel Santos and Maximilian Fleer in the BMW. They're currently P1 with 96 points, followed by Andy Masu Racing. That's been controlled by Mads Krogsgaard mostly, with his teammate Andy Rees, unfortunately, only able to make the first round, so this championship's really been going on the back of Mads. Third, Pro McFlame with 73.5. And that is, of course, Sven Versteeg and Mike Van Doorn, the Dutch duo, as we call them. Here comes Mads to the line. Let's go on board, and let's watch a lap around South Dakota Circuit. It's flat out, a little kick to the left hand, but as we get into turn one here, braking at the 100-meter marker, getting it rotated into the right-hander, accelerating out, and then double right-hander here. This is where the terrain really gets a bit tricky. You want to stay to the inside line here and just follow through, exiting out. You want to stick to the inside here, left-hand side of the circuit. Then the double right-hander comes up, braking in the middle of the circuit. Very hard to pick your poison at that part. But now as we exit out and we head on over to the short straight, flick to the right-hander, and then it's going to be a long left-hander that the hill goes up, up, and up. You see the crest right about there, and then it drops you right back down right away as we get right back onto the classic circuit, and then into the right-hander and onto the back straight. Oh, a little bit of a misgear shift, a misshift from Mads. But as we head into the famous gooseneck section for the right, flick it into the left, then the double right-hander. Mads is not going to finish this lap. He doesn't feel the improvement, but that is essentially a lap around South Dakota Circuit. Let's find out where the others are. Here comes Daniel Santos to the line. Can he get to the front row with this lap? No, he doesn't. So that lap of 1:12.8. But you look at those times there, he needs about 2/10 more. If he can get at least to the front row, that's going to be enough pressure that he can put on the Mads. He'll have the inside line. Look at this. Look at the... Doesn't look like traffic here. Maybe everybody's just backing off. We also saw a McLaren back there instead of McLaren. Oh, may have been contact. Danny Nasseir, and I think it might have been Mike Van Doorn just on the exit there. Let's take a closer look at that corner exit. There you see it's very abrupt as we get onto the back straight. In real life, this is the drag strip. There's drag racing here at the circuit. Chad is saying, I feel like the inspiration for Mike Van Doorn is a character called Victor Von Doom. Might be wrong, but it just sounds like a cool name. No, that's actually his real name. All these drivers are running with their real names out here. We don't allow any kind of usernames. However, that's a pretty good shout. We did have another driver here. I cannot remember. If chat remembers it, they can let me know. But in our general chat, there is a bit of lore where somebody was called basically the Victor Von Doom. We do have a nickname for Mads that I think the chat did also come up with. Mads Verstappen. That's pretty self-explanatory if you've been watching his performance throughout this championship. Mads has been with us since last year, his debut championship, along with his teammate, Andy Master Racing, Andy Rees, formerly mentioned. Andy Rees won the championship at the IMSA Vintage Championship. However, Mads has always come up just that bit short, looking for the title. So Mads is looking for his championship. And ever since he has joined us here, well, he has done some stellar performances. P5 in his first ever championship at IMSA Vintage. Then we look at the next couple of championships. He didn't join us for LMP2 World Endurance. We take a look at DTM, the DTM World Championship last year. Didn't finish well on the standing there. The Radical Caribbean Cup, not the same. But the GT4 International Championship, he finished a solid P4. Santos going quicker on this lap. We watch Mads coming across the line. No improvement for him. Here comes Santos. Oh, he takes it to the pits. No improve. Actually, he does improve. My mistake. Look at the gap between them now. It's gotten even closer. 7/1000th of a second. And you also look at Sven up there as well. 2/1000th of a second. So that makes it the top three separated by basically nothing. Blink and you'll miss it. 2/1000ths of a second just off from Sven to Daniel, but Daniel crucially on the front row. So as I continue on with a little bit of stats here, then we enter the 2025 season. This is where Daniel Santos debuted in Caribbean Motor Racing Sim Club. But both of their championship stories have not been close together. Porsche Cup almost went to Daniel Santos, finishing second. TCR was his best shout. He lost out in the last race where it was a winner-takes-all. Peter Sabot took that one that day. The Endurance Championship, Daniel once again a runner-up. So for Santos, if we only count the championships he's joined us at, take a listen to this stat. 3 championships in a row in GT racing, he has finished second. That makes you mad. And Santos does not want to finish second place again. In terms of Krogsgaard, it was slowly an increase of pace throughout the 2025 season, and now we get to present day as we're under a minute here in qualifying. It's going to be a true winner takes all, but Mads is coming up very quick. Sven's going fast this lap. Let's take a look at him on the front straight. Could he take pole position for himself? Yes, he does. Yes, he does. A 1:12.229 in the dying stages of qualifying. This is absolutely huge for the championship. Coming down to it. 40 1,000ths of a second faster than Mads. Mads is about 7 seconds to the line. He's very close on this lap time. Can he get across? Just about. Yes, he does. He has one more chance at it. He doesn't, however, does not have enough fuel. Mads has to settle for second. Can Santos potentially take first in another point? He doesn't. That is crazy. Sven with a fantastic final lap there. Takes pole for himself. We watch the rest of the competition to the line. Layla to the line. And stays 7th. Here comes Danny Nasseir. Not the best of qualifying so far. Not clicking. Can this lap work out for him? No. Mike Van Doorn. We also have, I think that's Maximilian. Yes, it is. Mike stays 8th. Max, no improvement. Stays 5th. Last but not least, here comes Leslie Owens. And no improvement from her either. That, ladies and gentlemen, is qualifying complete. And that is absolutely huge in this championship. It takes away Mads' one bonus point that could have went to him. That could have made this championship just that more closer. That is absolutely huge. All right, great qualifying there. Congratulations, your top 3. Sven, Mads, Daniel. Once again, the pole position lap time and all lap times this week will be looked at for track limits. So the point not guaranteed to Sven. However, we'll still review it nonetheless. 8 seconds till we get on the grid. All right, here we go. So the drivers gonna get on to the grid, and this is it. And the driver's gonna realize now, as the sign moves over, it's a 3-wide start. So this is gonna get interesting. 3 by 3 by 3 by 3 by 3. The tradition here at South Dakota. Those under the 10 are not qualified. Yes, they have qualified. Our timing board only does show the bottom here. We can, it does show it. We could scroll down through there. But yes, everybody has qualified. This is it. A championship to be decided here today, and there's 2 races to do it. So it's going to be all to play for here today. This is going to get fun. Let's take a look at the grid. It's Sven on pole, followed by Mads. Then it's Daniel Santos, the 2 drivers here today, fighting for the title. Then it's Peter, Max, and Eamon at the 2nd row. Layla, Mike, and Mark Crawford at home here today. He's very excited for this one. I know it. Leslie, Martin, and Evan Steinberg. Martin Webster also the driver at home. Danny Nasseir. Ian in his debut race rounds out the grid. We're 45 seconds away from the title being decided here today. All right, enjoy this one. I think you've already seen how the grid looks. We're 30 seconds away. Majority, if over half the field has an incident at lap 1, we'll restart it. Now keep in mind, guys, this is only a one-time thing we can do. Best of luck, everyone. Championship decider, 2.5 points between Mads and Daniel. Here we go. Let's sound it off for race 1 of 2. Four lights are on, and we go racing for the first race of 2. We're underway. Mads, great jump at the start of this one. Side by side with Sven. Sven, can he dive it down the inside? Santos taking a wide line. Could be mugged out here. Oh, and contact was made. I didn't even see anybody touch Santos. And that is absolutely huge for the championship. Who took him out? I think that could have been Netcode. I'm not too sure. He gets going. He's back racing. Sven to the lead. Mads in second. Peter in third, Max in fourth, Layla fifth, Fedor in sixth. They all come shuffling down through. And now that we slowly arrive at the classic section of the track. There you see some side-by-side action. Martin Webster and Evan Steinberg, BMW and Audi under the camera. Here we see Eamon and, Eamon and Mike. Mike making a little bit of contact. So, drama at the start. Can anybody tell me, was there contact at all between Santos and anybody for that matter? I have no idea. I'll watch it on the replay. There's trouble. I think that's Mike Van Dorn. It is Mike Van Dorn. Something's gone wrong with him. And I'm watching the replay now. Maximilian made contact with his rear end. So it wasn't netcode. That's what went down. So obviously will be reviewed at the end of the session, but Santos is, he's got an uphill field and he's already making progress now. He's already going side by side with Webster. Webster not gonna make it easy. He's on home turf. Santos can have to make a move. He does make the move. Webster trying to go through, cannot get it done. Santos to 8th. Crucially, he will even get 7th. Layla's got to stay in the same place. Another position for Daniel Santos in the championship hunt. Just to answer your question quickly in chat, the beeping is from Race Control. That is Discord. So don't worry if if you're thinking your Bluetooth headset is dying. So we're on board here. Leslie Owens, great start from her. She's in the top 5. Looking pretty good. Eamon's going to put a lot of pressure on her. Not going to be easy to hold off Eamon. Very feisty, but the more they two battle, look behind, it's Daniel Santos. So Matt's in second position right now. Leslie, try to defend. A little bit of weaving, has to watch it, of course. Doesn't look like there needs to be a warning, but side by side, here we go. Leslie holding off. Where's Santos? Meanwhile, Santos cannot capitalize. Eamon Espear gets the move done. Leslie, little door to door, sliding the rear end. Great racing between them. Santos gonna try to hunt on the inside. He makes contact with Leslie, trying to push his way through, and that looks great to me. He gets the double. He gets the double. What a move. What a move from Daniel Santos. He gets right up to 4th place. What a position! What a change there! Santos is a man on a mission! How do you like them apples? What a fight! This is incredible! We'll keep an eye on Eamon. You see Martin Webster. Also in the back. Could be capitalizing on Leslie. That was very rough from Santos to go through. But that was crazy. That was awesome. And we're getting word that Layla, Miss Midnight Bloom, a retirement, but no fault of her own. She may have accidentally hit a wall and, according to her in the paddock pen, touched the wall by a pixel and it sent me to Mars. We're not too sure what happened with that one there. Meanwhile, as Eamon starts to get away from Leslie to try to chase down Daniel Santos. On board here with Martin Webster. Too much curve for Leslie. Side by side. Webster trying to look for the move. Can Webster get it done here on home turf? Not this time, but very close. Closest battle we have here. Webster looking for the move. Can he get it done? Not this time. Doesn't look like it. Webster going to need a wide line here. Get it onto the drag strip and try it again through the gooseneck, or set yourself up till you get to the front straight. The BMW looking very nicely here at South Dakota Circuit. Remember, folks, this is race 1 of 2. We're 20 minutes left until we end the first one. Still lots of racing left to go. Here comes Webster. Big chance at a move. Leslie looking to defend. Stays to the outside. And Webster dives it down the inside, licks the stem and sends it. And great move from Webster, gets it done. Martin Webster gets the move done on Leslie Owens for P6. A great move there. X-Play is going to love that one. But now as they head into the hairpin, can Leslie try to get back on the inside? Doesn't look like it. Behind is Evan Steinberg, but a little bit far away to try to make that one stick. Behind, let's look up ahead actually, because Maximilian is closing up fast on what looks to be Peter Sabot. Now it says Peter is in 12th. However, we did have some issues on the circuit that potentially your position could be swapped around, and yes. So yeah, Peter Sabot is firmly in this fight. So just for confirmation to Peter Sabot, we understand you're a lap down there, but don't worry, you are still in what looks to be 4th position. Keep on racing as you are, Peter. So just a word of encouragement. That was what the drivers were briefed on. There is some parts of the circuit, it is sim racing, and technology does happen to glitch here and there. And Peter Sabot, unfortunately, finding himself a lap down. However, he's not actually a lap down, so take the leaderboard with a grain of salt. Peter Sabot is in what looks to be 3rd place, actually. Not 4th, but it's all good. But Max still going to put on some heavy pressure on this one. Onto the back straight. Gap is 2.8. That's the difference. Meanwhile, we also have a couple other battles. Steinberg getting a bit closer, 1.2. It was under a second for the moment. There is a bit of a train back here. Martin Webster, Leslie, I believe that is Evan and Mark Crawford Jr. Going to give us a little encouragement to Layla for me. Gotta let her know she's got this. Is Layla back in it? Well, she is. And she's actually catching up to Mike Van Dorn. I think I'm going to let her 2-hit. I'm going to let her 2-hit because I think she's really focusing hard to try to get Mike Van Dorn for position. That will get her slowly to the points. But all the support that you give her in chat, it's everything that they need in this race. Meanwhile, here's Leslie. I think we're seeing a bit of lag spice. We're not too sure if it's coming from her. A lot of curve on the inside, but she's closing in a lot to Martin Webster. Let's try to get a hood cam. There we go. To the action here. 16 minutes, 40 seconds left to go in race 1 of 2. And does look like it's a little bit twitchy, a little bit hard to see, but look at that down the inside. Does she get it? Oh, it's contact there. And not a fan of that. Will get reviewed right away. And she is lagging quite a bit. Was the door closed? Or was that fair racing? What went down there? It's being actively reviewed. Does she have to let go of that position? But meanwhile, as this race continues, Steinberg all over the rear. Note from race control to Leslie Owens. You can continue racing as you are, and the incident will be reviewed after the race. However, if you feel that you did take Martin Webster out, let through the position. If you only feel that you did take him out. If not, it'll be reviewed at the end of the race, but a heavier penalty will follow. Just a heads up, Leslie Owens. So race direction, making it clear. It's 11 p.m., can't tell. Or can't yell, my apologies. Fair enough. All these drivers from racing all around the world, some of them in the midnight hours, and we're very happy to see them show in and show up. Here comes lap traffic, and oh, that's a very interesting place to let through cars. From race control to do not stop on the racing line. Just keep racing as normal. When a car comes up, just stay wide off the racing line. And also don't swap to the left or right hand side of the track. Just pick one. And that's to the Porsche, letting through lap traffic, letting Ian know early on. And oh, there is trouble. Oh no, it's Mark Crawford. And Crawford, who was very excited for this home race, getting it wrong, and he takes it to the pits. Now, I don't know, was there contact with him and anybody else in this one? I'm not positive. But it will be reviewed nonetheless. Crawford, who was very excited for this one. Oh, I heard some... Who was that? P12. That's Ian. Oh, Ian's gotten it wrong. Oh, that's very dangerous there for the moment. Trying to get back through. Danny Nasseir to come up now. He missed the gooseneck section by a long shot. Looking to have a drag race with somebody here. But unfortunately, wrong type of race here today. Nonetheless, though, 3 cars to let through here. And you see Crawford Jr. in the pits. And here we go, into 1. And great to let through Layla. Oh, in the grass there. Trying to get right back going. 2 wheels off, rallying it through. Meanwhile, let's look up here. Danny Nasseir. Defending now from Mike Van Doorn. Danny on the inside line. Does he defend here? Can Mike Van Doorn pull it around the outside? Switchback potentially. Great spot on the circuit to do so. Doesn't pull the switchback, but it's great momentum to the next part of the circuit. Danny brilliantly keeping that car in the middle of the racetrack. And Van Doorn sweeping it to the left. Now, oh, does he hold on? Yes, he does. Oh, little kick on the dirt. You felt the rear end just lose out just for the moment there. Now into the gooseneck section. Does he lick the stamp and send it down the inside? He does so. Danny gives racing room. Cannot do anything about it. The McLaren soars up another position. So another place claimed here for him. Kicks the dirt for good use. Meanwhile, here comes Evan Steinberg. Now, big chance for an overtake here. Right-hander, flick it into the left. How much can you flick it in? It's very hard going to the uphill section. But meanwhile, as this race continues, take a look at that track map, top right-hand side of your screen. P1 of Sven absolutely booked it out of here. P2 of Matt, not able to get away that far. And we take a look at the last driver in that queue. It's Daniel Santos. So it'll be very interesting to see how that turns out. Meanwhile, we also have another fight, of course, as Layla trying to get on the rear of Danny Nasseir. Great exit to the outside, off track limits for the moment. Danny, does he let through 2 positions here in the same corner, back-to-back laps potentially? Doesn't look like it. Danny through the gooseneck, goes a little bit wide. Layla puts the nose up the inside. It's a drag race now on the front straight. Loses the rear end, stays to the inside, but now tucks into the rear of the Audi, but a little too far behind. Just lost that momentum. Now coming up the straight, heading into turn 1, braking at the 100-meter marker to the right-hander. Great run from Layla. Miss Midnight Bloom to the outside. Danny Nasseir hugs the inside. Nowhere to go for Layla, but this could be the opportunity. It's a late send down the inside. There is contact between the both of them. Too hard. Layla sent it up, and it's not going to work out. Danny Nasseir still stays ahead. And a great fight between these two competitors here. Taking it to the drone. Look how close Layla's getting. Not happy anymore. Wanting to get this move done. Sniffing the rear end of the Audi. Can the Supra get through? Inside potentially at the next corner. Great run here. Any chance of a move? Through the gooseneck section. Single file it turns into. And around the final corner, onto the front straight. Again, this is where the setups start to play a big factor here. How close can you get to the rear end? Meanwhile, Martin Webster going for the move potentially on Evan Steinberg. Looking for the opportunity to get past. We look back here. Does Layla send it again? This is going to get tight. Sent it nonetheless, sent it again, and sends Danny Nasseir off the circuit. And that one gonna get reviewed as well. Danny Nasseir. A sitting duck potentially. What went wrong? P5 of Eamon. Oh, he's at the drag strip. He's at the drag strip. Faces the wrong way. It's going to get very tight on rejoin. It's very tight. He gets right back on it side by side with Steinberg. And now Webster could have a chance. On board, Martin Webster. Still, positions stay the same for the top drivers. Look at Eamon in the back. Oh, Eamon goes 4 wheels off the circuit. Was he given racing room? He slides off the track. He gets right back going behind. It's Mike Van Dorn. Oh, my goodness. A very hard spot to catch that one. Oh, he's cut the corner. Oh, wow. And Eamon looks like he doesn't bother to go through, and Martin Webster looking like he's running away from Eamon. He gets the move done on Evan Steinberg out of nowhere. It's getting pretty tight between these two. Oh boy. Oh, it's very tight. It's very tight. Here comes Steinberg. But not enough momentum. Eamon's gonna go down the inside of Evan Steinberg. Oh, Leslie off the circuit. Or is that lag? It looks like it was lag potentially, so ping, not there, not strong. Oh, it's getting very interesting out here. Wow. Eamon trying to get back through. Impeccable racing here in this one. And Santos, it says he's third. Oh, somebody's gone off. 14th. Can't see it in the moment. Who is that? P13. It's Ian. He's gone deep. He's gone wide. Meanwhile, Santos, is he up to third or is he up to fourth? Fourth position for Santos. That's where he's at right now. So this one, once again, getting very tight here. Let's look at the rear cam. Eamon all over the rear, looking for the inside. Let's take it to the drone cam, heading into the gooseneck, down the inside for Eamon. Doesn't get the move done. Clean as you like it, does so. Steinberg, better opportunity to try to go through. Does he? No, he doesn't. So what a fight this is truly turning out to be. I think we're going to go to word from race control. Race control to Layla. The incident between yourself and Danny Nasseir, while it will be reviewed at the end of the race, if you feel like you took him out, you can let through the position and there'll be no penalty to your name. However, if you do want to get investigated and looked at the end of the race, you're more than likely and more than welcome to continue racing as you are, but if there is a penalty found, you will be given a heavier penalty. So just to reiterate, you can let the car of Danny Nasseir through behind if you feel like you took him out, but if you want it to be reviewed at the end of the race and it is you who took him out, there will be a penalty given. I saw just up the road Leslie, Eamon, both of them going slow. Leslie off the circuit, Eamon Espeir going through. Not too sure what went wrong there, but Eamon, he's now behind Evan, and Webster is out of there scot-free. So somebody must have made contact there with Eamon. There's so much to look at. That message for Layla and Danny Nasseir was supposed to be delivered laps ago. Laps and laps ago. Nonetheless, though, what an exciting race this is. But we're down 4 minutes, 15 seconds, and we still have another race exactly like this to go. This is incredible. Now Eamon, once again, what does he do? So, right-hander flicking into the left. Does he get through? On Evans, Steinberg, Eamon Espeir around the final corner. Getting through. Interesting to note, what went wrong with Leslie Owens? She was found at the end of the drag straight. So, was it that she lost a position and made contact with Eamon? That's the only predicament I have at what went down there. But here comes Espeir to the outside, very tight part of the circuit. Steinberg letting the room through. Optimistic move here around the outside. And can Eamon hold on to the brakes? He gets it done. The wide nature of the first corner allows him to just use that space. And that is a very high adequate 200 IQ move there from Eamon to get that move done. Mike Van Doorn is coming up quick up there. Behind. And Eamon gets the move done. P6 there for him. Next up, 4 seconds behind to Martin Webster. And here we go. Lap traffic here for Ian to let through. Probably going to let through on the front straight this time by. So we look at the rear cam. Here comes Martin Webster. The front pack really been staying the same throughout this race. And he stays to the inside of the circuit. Has to let through a couple of cars. Very shortly, if he's going to make it through to the next corner behind Layla and Leslie. Layla goes through. And gets the move done. So interesting effort there. Let's look down the order. Where is that lap traffic getting it through? Eamon goes through. Here comes Evan and Mike Van Doorn to also try to get it done on the inside. Oh, Van Doorn going a little bit deep. Almost making contact. I don't think there was contact actually made there. 1:40 left to go in this one. And Danny Nasseir lapped by the leader. Sven looking to take another race victory out here today. So, what a race this is truly turning out to be. Once again, let's take you through the point standings. This was before we got into this race today, and that is how it's looking and how close this title fight is truly becoming. So it's getting very, very dicey out there at the front with Mads in second and Daniel, who should be, I think, fourth maybe. Yes, he'll be fourth. It's going to be very interesting once we get to the end of this one. What's going to turn out? But as we continue on here, we're going to try to do live points calculations as this race goes on here. 30 seconds left to go. We're at 2 laps left here for race 1 of 2 at South Dakota Circuit. And once again, still undecided who is taking this championship. But with a 2-position improvement from Mads after contact at lap 1 between teammates, might I add, teammates. Daniel Santos being taken out by his teammate, Maximilian Fleer. The worst thing that could happen to him. All pressure now down at it. And it's going to be a dogfight coming to the last race in this one here. Leader has 2 laps to go. So he's going to come around through the gooseneck and he's going to start off the final lap of this race. Followed by Mads, who's about 11 seconds behind. Better lap traffic as well for him. But still has to work on it. And going through once again, Sven lapping. We also have P5 also going through, P6 and P5. Eamon catching up to Martin Webster. Coming up to the gooseneck. And they're gonna and he's gonna be able to get P5 if he can get this one done. Oh, and look at that great entry there. Too much almost. And he goes through. Here we go. Nose to tail. To turn 1. Does he get this one done here? It's going to be very tight for Eamon. Dives it down the inside. Does he get the move done? We'll watch in a moment. He does, but around the final corner, Sven will take race 1 of 2 in this one. He improves up to 4th place in the championship because of it. Behind, it's Matt who will take the lead of the championship. P3 going to Peter Sabo. It does fix for him. That's great. P4 will go to Daniel Santos. The championship, ladies and gentlemen, is 1.5 points the difference. It's getting tight out there. It's getting very tight. Round the rest of the order. Here's Eamon. And also, you have Martin Webster. And Eamon's going to finish up. Should be P5. P6 for Webster. What a fight. What a race this was. But now, as the drivers finish up their one here, championship gets closer. So as we wait now till all the drivers come across the line, lots of a couple incidents to look through in that one. But what a race that was to the very end. Another 25-minute race to go. Championship is still on. However, we are going to interview race winner here today. So thank you to those who did go a lap down. Just let me know, general chat or the DMs. We'll look at it after the race. But we're going to talk to our man who finishes P1 here today for race 1 of 2. And it is Sven, the Dutchman. You finished first here, just like it last week out. How was that one for you? Take us through that race. How was that one from your perspective? Well, overall, though, you finish P1 here. You're going to start P6. Same scenario. You start just like last week out. What are you looking for in this one? Well, let's see what you can do. Great news for you. You actually jump up to P4 in the championship, so doing very well for your personal result. Congratulations, P1 in race 1 of 2. All right, so thank you to those who did report the lap down issues. And let's get through into race 2. All right, we'll look at all incidents as well after the race. So please hold off on those comments there, guys. And we'll look at it officially. 2 minutes, 25 seconds left to go until we get racing. So what I'm understanding here from race 1, the top 4 should be Sven, Mads, Peter, and Daniel. Should be your top 4 there. And as looking at the championship, all right. So now we get into a championship fight here. Mads, 84.5 points. Daniel, 83 points. So 1.5 points the difference here, but a minute 38. Top 6 is flipped on the other side. So let's get this one underway. This is going to be incredible racing here. A minute 20 left to go. And this is what it's looking like. It's Webster, Eamon, and Max at the top 3, followed by Daniel, Mads, and Sven. Championship still very much on. Santos with a great comeback through the field. Well, he only loses the lead of the championship, but it's 1.5. It's truly a winner takes all between them. So here we go, 50 seconds until this one goes off. "30 seconds left. Best of luck, everyone. Once again, all incidents will be reviewed at the end of the race." Here we go. Championship underway here today. It's time we get racing with 4 lights on the board. CMRC ends today with this one here at South Dakota. Santos, a great start, goes through as they all jumble up. Santos, does he take the lead out of turn 1? What a risky one it'll be. Through goes Santos. What a lead he's taken. Webster, oh, he's made contact with Eamon. He's sent off. I don't see where Mads is at the moment. Mads could be falling behind. He's 13. He is down in 13th position. He's off the circuit. It's the dream start for Daniel Santos, followed by Sven, followed by Mads. It's getting dicey in the back. There you see Peter Sabot and Eamon Espeir fighting hard. Oh, and there you see in the background, Ian sent off the racing circuit. But we go green, we go racing. Rule is reversed. It's Mads on the back foot for this one. This is huge for the championship. Let's get my car off the grid and let's calm it down. Or should we? Look at the action coming up the road. Let's try to shuffle up here. Steinberg to the outside. Does he fight hard at Eamon? Does not. Eamon to 6th place. And from 6th, does he get 5th from Maximilian Fleer? We'll find out very soon. Daniel Santos in the lead. And the championship right now will go to him if things stay this way. Man, this is absolutely huge. This is a huge, huge championship fight here today. Big fight feel. Mads is coming up to the end of this queue. Needs a perfect run through, exactly like Daniel did in the last race. Trouble here. Ian sent off the circuit. He's facing the wrong way. Behind Daniel Santos, it's not going to be easy because Sven, your race winner, trying to go back-to-back. So as they go through here, to the right-hander, Mike, Peter, Max, Eamon, all going through into the gooseneck section from the back straight. There you see Evan and Leslie Owens. But you look in the back, there you see Eamon. Look how close he's getting. Let's get a closer look here at this fight. So Sven, fastest lap of the race. More pressure put down on the championship leader. And Santos. Well, if I was Santos, I wouldn't waste my time on Sven. Sven's not in the championship, and where Mads is right now, I think I can afford, if I have to let through on this race win. What does he do, however? Does he maximize on these points? Does he let him through? Oh, look how close it gets. This could be a very interesting fight. Now, Santos is going to be replaying what he saw ahead of him at race 2, where Sven had an incident taking out Eamon. Does Daniel want to be in that position? Or is Daniel going to play nice and let through Sven, knowing that he has a championship to protect? It's such an interesting dynamic in this race. Early on, 21 minutes and 1 lap, and we will decide a champion in GT4. It doesn't get hot quite like this. Meanwhile, Mads improving now. He's up to 9th. He's got about 4 seconds to come up to the fight between Steinberg and Owens. And that will be for P7. Meanwhile, we also have Peter Sabot chasing down Mike Van Dorn to get on the podium. It's a Promix Flame podium here at the moment. Eamon has been sent off the circuit, possibly making a mistake. Gets right back on it. And he's going once again. What happens if they're tied on points? Great question. It's on count back with wins. So it'll be on countback. I'll let you know what the countback looks like. But right now, I think I got my hands tied here because there are some great fights going on. Was there contact between, was it Mike Van Dorn and Peter Sabot? Doesn't look like it. But going through into the gooseneck. What's going to transpire here? Any chance of Sabot to make a move? Meanwhile, let's look up the road. How close is this fight here? Crossing the line. Daniel Santos, last lap with a 12.799. And Sven with a 12.987. So, Daniel Santos able to hold himself up in this fight for the race win. He doesn't need a win, of course. Also, we're going to watch here. This is going to get dicey. Now remember, last race, Santos got 2 cars in 1 corner, essentially. Can Mads double that down and go for 3 cars in 1 corner? It's going to get pretty tight between them now. Lots of action to fight through. But here we go. Eamon, the first car to find. Does he go for the move down the inside? Not this time. Not this time. Up ahead, there you see your battle for the race lead. And you know what? It's getting a hell of a lot more spicier than Mads. So we're going to split screen it in just a moment. But here comes Daniel. Oh, Santos defends the inside as Sven chucks the nose of the Aston Martin trying to go through. There was no contact between them, but Mads makes a bit of contact with Eamon Asseir. They bang wheels. They bang wheels again through to the gooseneck. A third time they bang wheels, but Mads gets through. How happy is Eamon with that? Can Eamon capitalize back? But here comes Santos. Santos in the crabs. He goes 4 wheels off. Santos still somehow holds the lead, but he's bottlenecked 5 cars. 5-car battle for the lead. Mads gets 7th. Gets it on Steinberg. Steinberg looks like he was sent off the track. Oh, he cuts the track entirely. Trying to get out the way. He's going to stay wide. Wow, there's so much. There is so much. But you look on your screen there, Evans doing the right thing of letting through all the positions. He did overtake because of that. Santos with that mistake, he's bottlenecked the top 5. I believe he should have just let Sven through, looking at where Mads is. But then again, Mads is a man on a mission that he could find himself in this podium fight. So Daniel may need every point he needs, but Sven will not make it easy because remember, Pro Mix and Project Guardrail Racing, PGR, in a fight for the title. And right now it's PGR first, Pro Mix in second, Pro Mix in third, Nano Shift fourth, and then Pro Mix fifth. So the team championship still very hot out here. Meanwhile, trying to find Mads. There he is. He's been able to get through on that pack of cars between Leslie, Eamon, and Evan. And what a dive bomb. Leslie, can she get back through? Touching the rear. Oh, a little bit of contact again. Leslie not playing nice. Leslie playing nicer with Eamon Asseir. She keeps bumping the rear, and Evan Steinberg tries to hustle through, and Leslie's just getting mugged out here in this one. Can you believe it? Up the road. And blue flags for 5 cars behind. And behind them, side by side, Peter Sabot trying to go for third. Peter Sabot trying to capitalize on this one here. Can he? All 3 of them go through together. All right, and if you could slow down the pace even more, just to let the next 3 cars behind go through, that'll be great. You don't have to come to a complete stop, but once the 3 cars go through, back up to racing speed. And he does so. Mads takes the fastest lap of the race. That's going to be 1 bonus point for him. And meanwhile, Peter goes through. Oh, and was there contact? Is there contact? The bumpy nature of South Dakota Circuit sends Van Dorn's McLaren wide. And here comes Maximilian Fleer to the outside. Does he get to the inside? I also saw a bit of contact. Eamon made with somebody. Could have been Leslie Owens, potentially. Didn't see it live. Van Dorn able to get away from the pressure. We also look back. Yeah, Leslie's a little bit far behind, but still gets through. Now Mads, meanwhile, still up there. This is incredible racing. Martin Webster, a little bit of contact with looks to be Danny Nasseir. Front row seats for Layla. Layla's going to drive it down the inside. Does she make contact with Danny Nasseir? Look at her going around the outside. Miss Midnight Bloom. Can she get it done? A little bit of contact. Danny Nasseir touches the rear end of Layla, but Layla goes through to 12th. Next up, Martin Webster for the next position, 11th. Up the road, Max and Van Dorn will be fighting hard. 4th position here. Still nothing can be done. Peter Sabot in 3rd right now. Apologies for that. But as we continue racing on here, Max getting a bit closer here. We're going to get that wide shot in just a moment. There you see how close that gap is. You look at the map. There's so much action here going on for race 2. Definitely cleaner than what we saw at race 1. And look at that, Van Doorn going just a little bit wide. Max, a big chance for this position here. Does he get it done? Wide to the inside. Left-hander, double right-hander through the gooseneck. And gets through. Santos gets the fastest lap of the race. A 1:12.603, a very, very crucial bonus point that could very easily decide this title. Meanwhile, Mads, he's about 4.5, he's about almost 5 seconds behind Max and Mike. 3 different teams here. Mads is going to need to pray that both of them fight hard. Because Santos, if he holds on to this lead, he'll be a champion for the first time in CMRC, breaking the P2 drought that he had back that began in Porsche Cup, then TCR, then the Endurance GTE Championship. It'll be a drought if he can pull it off. What goes down? And he's feeling that confidence now. Sven starting to lose touch. Meanwhile, Max and Mike Van Doorn, it doesn't get pretty because both of them made contact. Van Doorn not making it easy. Around the outside, a multi-time champion in the Dutchman. He may have not had the best of races in race 1, but he's showing that that is not an example of who he is. Another fastest lap, but this time it's to Sven. The fastest lap point taken away for the championship from Daniel Santos. So as positions reset, gap is put down to a second closer. Matt's down. He's 3.2 seconds behind. The fight here as now Maximilian Fleer looking for another opportunity. But it's 12 minutes and 15 seconds left to go out here. Here is that backpack here. As you see, 11th of Martin Webster and Layla Miss Midnight Bloom going through into 12th. And it still gets spicy out here. And Max, look at that, trying to look to the inside. Remember, both these teams are fighting for the team championship. It's only going to allow Mads to come closer. And Maximilian is not helping his teammate's case. Not playing driver number 2 here. He wants glory for himself, and understandably so. Van Doorn makes a mistake on the drag strip. Here comes Max, round the outside this time. Remember, 2.5, keep an eye on that graph. Matt is coming up fast. Nose to tail, Mike Van Doorn. And Maximilian, you look in the back. Look how close the gap's gotten. It's 1.7 the difference. That battling, it's closing up the fight. Max really not helping Santos. He tops the rear in race 1 of Daniel, and now in race 2, he's going for 4th and still trying to fight. But as that happens, Mads gets just closer and closer. The gap is 1.3 now, the difference. If Mads can sweep through 2 positions and get up to 4th, it's only going to be that step closer. Remember, it's 1.5 the difference. It's still going to be Santos with the upper hand in this fight. And look at Max fighting his way through. Does he get it done? No, not this time. Once again, though, Mike runs off the track into the gooseneck section from the drag strip. Once again, Matt under a second from this fight. He's firmly in it. Here we go. Krogsgaard against Maximilian against Mike Van Doorn. That's your gap. That's what it's looking like. If Mads wants a championship, he needs to make moves right about now. And he does so. Gets right to the rear of Fleer. Not this time around. He can go. But now, into the very tricky uphill, downhill section where Mike is losing that bit of time. Can the McLaren capitalize through this section? Here comes Mads. Great wide entry. Can he get a sweep? Increasing that pace. Oh, he runs a little bit wide off the track, losing him time. Meanwhile, 3 seconds the difference. Santos has opened up the gap pretty clear now. Mads in the middle of no man's land. Oh, P13 off. It is Crawford Jr. and it looks to be done. It looks to be his Grand Prix of Guyana's story, unfortunately coming to an end here in this final race of the championship. Not working out for him. So Mike Van Doorn, great exit. On board with Mads, nothing he can do. All three of them split very evenly together. It's your closest fight we have on track. What a championship storyline this has been. But look at this, Mads now still biding his time, watching what Max does, and whatever he does, Mads won't do. He'll do the opposite. Once again, wide entry for Krogsgaard, and then swing it in, but time is ticking more and more. It's 8 minutes left to go, and Mads still needs to get a move on from these two cars. It's only slowing him up. Pressure's got to build on Mads. What do you do? How long do you play smart for until you just have to throw it all in? The McLaren sandwich here with the BMW in the middle. Max also knows he's in a championship fight, so he has to play double duties for his teammate as well. Not making it easy for any of them. And maybe that's why Max is not going for all the obvious moves, but just biding his time till he feels confident that one move can stick. Meanwhile, behind, we have Layla and Evan Steinberg fighting here for 9th. But gaps kind of stay the same once they're on the front straight. Contact. Looks like Mads ran into the rear. A little tap on the rear. And Maximilian shakes it off. If anything, maybe it gives him a little speed boost to inch up that much closer ahead to this fight. And it is confirmed that Crawford does retire here from his home race at South Dakota Circuit. It leaves one car down, the rest still vying for points. 6 minutes, 42 seconds left to go here at South Dakota Circuit, here for the final round of the championship. Van Doorn holding off brilliantly. Sven, fastest lap of the race once again. 1:12.422 for him. And this time around, Maximilian a bit closer, but doesn't look like the move is possible for him against Mike Van Doorn. Meanwhile, Mads taking a back step from this fight, but a slow exit from Mike Van Doorn could do it. Maximilian hits the curb awkwardly, cannot get it done. Now to the uphill hairpin, where if you leave just that bit of space wide, a car will find yourself on the inside of you. As that goes down, Max gets a little bit held off, Mads gets a little closer, and now he gets right back in. 6/10 the difference as they continue to fight here with 5 minutes and 45 seconds left to go. Mads slowly losing this championship as time ticks down. Mads, however, he'll still watch this fight because Maximilian to the outside has picked his poison. It'll try to go for it. Doesn't get the move done. It's contact. Mike not making it easy. Mads, this is your one shot of glory. Side by side into the gooseneck. Mads has one opportunity. Get it done, Mads. He does so. He gets it done. A little contact there on the rear. Hitting him square on. Mads goes up to 5th. That was what he was waiting for. Door is shut. Van Doorn leaves no space for Maximilian on the outside. Now does the Beamer go through? Can Fleer get through this time? Only time will tell. And remember, Van Doorn ahead. What can Mads do? 4 minutes, 38 seconds. Santos closing in slowly on this title. Minute after minute going by. Mads in 5th. Can he get to 4th? This is such a mind-bending race for the title. This is really an any man's game here. We'll go on board with Mads as he chases down the fellow McLaren, looking for the move. Meanwhile, Steinberg getting close, and Webster, all these three together, looking for 9th place in this one. Still, nothing can be done. We'll continue to calculate points as this race goes on and continues. I think it's very apparent, unofficially, in the result, what the title picture's looking like. Does Mads get it done here on Mike? A now or never desperate situation, going wide. Here comes, oh no, it's contact. Oh, Maximilian took the inside. He took the inside of Mads. Could not get it done. It's a drag race in the next corner, and Mads gets it back. Over optimistic move. Lap traffic up ahead, and that is not going to help in the slightest. Max saw the inside, sent it, but it didn't work out. Mads down to 5th. Again. He was so close to Van Dorn. What a race this is turning out to be. There were 2 minutes left to go here in this one. What a race. What a race this is truly turning out to be. Can we see any opportunity? A Fleer to go through. No, not this time. And just to confirm it here, Santos, if he gets this win, he'll win it by 5 points. What a fight this is turning. What an event. What a race. It's not over yet with 1:30. Never say never in CMRSC. But the best Mads could do here if he gets Mike, it'll only be 4.5 points. This has truly been a true test throughout this one. What happened to Mads? He was taken out at the start of this one. No idea who did it or what went wrong, but the same thing happened to Daniel, but Daniel was able to get back on it. Mads could use a fan boost for this one, could he? I don't think he cares at this point. Maybe he wants to get past Mike, but I think he's slowly realizing that with Daniel winning this race, if he does, that's it. The hunt for the title comes to a screeching end, and we pick it up with a brand new one next week for the German Grand Prix at the Hockenheimring. 2 laps to go here at Guyana. And Mads still hunting. Mad Mads looking for this position. Does he get it done? That's the big question. Behind, though, just about 3/10. It is Maximilian. Down the rest of the order, giving the rest of the drivers some love, but the reason why we haven't visited them that much, it's not been that close of a fight. Now, I don't want to get anyone's hopes up, but Sven has closed up a second onto Santos, but I think Santos is just taking that a bit easier. Now it's 2 seconds. It shouldn't matter that much. Because Mads needed to finish ahead of Santos. So unless he runs out of fuel, that would be drama. Ooh, and Ian's hit him! Ian's hit Daniel! What have you done? Are you serious? Are you serious? Why? What? How? Who? I cannot believe it! I cannot freaking believe it! I am absolutely over the moon! Ian, you saw it yourself. You saw it yourself. And if you saw what happened last week, I think Daniel and I are just as pissed. Because that was unfreaking believable. That was, I have no words to say before I get canceled on here. But Jesus Christ. I am in absolute shock. Now, final lap for Santos. I believe the championship should still go to him. But that is drama at his absolute finest. I don't know what happened. Sven will go back to back for the first time in this championship. Sven takes the W. But as for this man, Daniel Santos, as he comes around the final corner, he will absolutely be disgusted at what went down. But as the drivers come to the line, oh my goodness me, how close does it get? Mads around the final corner, does not get Mike, does not get Mike. They finish. We'll count back the points in just a moment. Stand by for the points. Absolutely. Absolutely. Daniel will look at it and we'll potentially reinstate the win back to you. I'll let you know that early on now. We'll reinstate it back to you. We'll look at it because I saw it too. That is absolutely huge. Absolutely huge. Wow. I am in shock, disbelief. I don't know what happened. I don't know. I don't know. That has been an absolute shocker. Here at South Dakota Circuit, everyone is losing their marbles. All right, folks. Lots to be talked about there. Lots to be talked about there that I will talk about at the end of this race. I will not take away Santos' win. Daniel Santos takes the win of the South Dakota race. We're going to reverse the order. Daniel, you finally take the championship here at South Dakota. We're going to look at it after. But we're going to swap the positions because that is the right thing in this one. That has got to be one of the craziest endings I've ever seen, with a lot of emotions to go down for everyone here, from drivers to chat. And to our drivers, we'll talk about it at the end of this one. We'll let you know officially what goes down here, but we're letting it known here. Santos, championship is yours. I don't care what went down there on that last lap. You firmly deserve it. That race was yours. And we're going to bring you up here. Do we have him in the call here? I don't see him, but somebody could tag him real quickly. That is an app. That is crazy. That has got to be one of the craziest endings I've ever seen a championship go down. If we can get Mads in here, Daniel in here. All right, we'll invite you to speak here today. Now, I'm going to firstly tell you this. Your emotions. Well, I'm definitely not as emotional as how you felt in that moment, but I did express some words. However, we are not going to take that away from you here. Championship is yours. You've done it. You finished P2 back in Porsche Cup. You finished P2 back in TCR. You finished P2 back at the Endurance Championship in GTE. but right now, you can finally call yourself champion of the Caribbean here. You got it done. 1000% deserved to you, sir. Santos, you're champion. You got it done here today. A lot of emotions. Let's try to hold off on any language. But tell me, that's still got to feel great at the end of it. I'm not going to take that away for you. I'm not going to say that that should have been a win that's a little bit cleaner. I understand that, but that's still yours. 1000%. Take me through the moment, and I'm telling you this loud and clear. The moment you won the championship, the moment that decided the championship, I should say, turn 1, lap 1, the lunge of a lifetime. We got to nickname it. That's how beautiful it was. You passed 4 cars at 1 corner to take the lead of the championship. Take me through the thinking from that one. I do have a little bit of company on your side there, so I'm just going to quickly ask you this one final question here. The fight between yourself and Sven, what was the mindset going through it? Because on stream, I was thinking that, you know what, Sven is going to want to go for this back-to-back race win. Should you have let him go? Should you have let him go and let him go through? What was the mindset? Were you juggling with that idea of just let him go, let's have a safe run for the title, knowing where Mads is? Or was it, I needed to win this race? Incredible effort there. Congratulations. And the reason why I tell you about this, I want to hear your reaction live. Just give me about 20 seconds on here. Just stick with me just for one moment. I'm not going to talk. Just give me one moment here. And chat, I see you loud and clear. I see you loud and clear. Just to iterate here. Not happy. Santos not happy at what went down there. But you can hear the emotion from him. That's the transcript. We got him live here. All right. This is what I wanted to tell you. That move for the win. You needed to win that race because if you had finished second where Mads was, you would have lost this championship by 1.5 points.
By how much? 1.5?
1.5. If you finished second where Mads was, I believe Mads finished 5th or 6th, but he would have won it by 1.5 points if you did not win this race. So it was crucial. So the move at turn 1, lap 1 will be talked about for a very long time, I'll tell you that much. But nonetheless, though, Daniel, congratulations. It looks like we got to remove that, whatever that is, the magnet of you getting into contact at the worst stages possible. Hopefully for the next one. Celebrate it, man. You deserve this championship. Let's shrug off what happened at the end there.
Thank you.
That is your race winner and champion. Let's talk to our man in P2, crossing the line P1. However, we are going to reinstate the win, and I think I saw you in chat. I think you understand, and I think you also believe that is fair as well for this one. Sven, the amount of pressure you were putting on Daniel throughout that whole race. That was some great racing between you two. You finished P2 in this one. How was it for you?
Well, the racing was very good. I was definitely even stressed myself, trying to take the win. And sadly, I got a bit of unfocused at one point. It's a bit hard when you drive behind someone that close. It's hard to see your brake marks. And yeah, that way you just either brake too early and you lose a little bit of pace, making me not able to overtake. Yeah, it's well deserved to Daniel. I think he deserves it.
Well, very sportsmanlike of you to not be fighting that case there. I know you had all right to fight it and say that's his problem, not mine, but very respectful from you there to accept that. But overall, though, a great recovery throughout this championship to gain a lot of points. I know you haven't been keeping close with the race of champion points, but you should be taking the lead. And the higher position you finish up in the race of champions as we head into the playoffs in just about a month's time, it'll be very important for you going into it. But nonetheless, though, congratulations on this one, and I think you'll be very happy with the solid result you finish at the end of this championship. Congratulations, P2.
Thank you. Yeah. I was like, it's their battle. It's their battle for the win, so I'm not gonna bother you all too much.
Congratulations, nonetheless. Well deserved at the top.
Thank you.
Finishing up in third position. See if we can find him here. Do we have him? Yes, we do. Peter Sabot on the podium. In the Toyota Supra. Great result throughout both races to finish in the top 5. And now onto the podium here for this last race. Peter, what a result there from you, but maybe a little bit boring because there wasn't too much going on around you.
No, it was pretty boring. The beginning of it was fun. After that, I just couldn't keep up with P1, P2. They were too quick and consistent.
Well, take us through that one. Take me through the start, most importantly. What went down on your end?
I tell you what went down. I was out of P6 because I was a lap down, even though I finished third. So I think I started 7th or 8th, but I had a really good run on the outside, and some guys were banging doors, so they cleared the way for me. I think I ended up right behind Mads after T1. Then we just, fought for a couple of laps. He made a mistakes, and yeah. And I don't know what happened to him. He must have gotten taken out by someone.
It was a very, very hard-hitting turn 1, lap 1 as well there. But nonetheless, though, yeah, not really too much to talk about there, but a great result nonetheless there, Peter. Finishing up third. For the next championship, are you looking towards that and looking to try to get a 2 for 2 in the year of 2025 for championships?
I try my best. I want to say congrats to all the guys, Danny and Mads, and whoever the third one is on that podium.
Yeah, for sure. Congratulations. Great result there, Peter. Good job.
Cheers, mate.
That's going to do it there for the championship. The debrief will go down the moment I enter into the lounge chat. So if you want to start following your way through, we could talk about this one right about now. We're going to end off the stream here. Great championship, and we'll talk a little more about the championship itself and the next one coming up. Thank you so much for taking part in this one. What a championship we've had. And we'll look to the future. DTM, 5 rounds. We started Hockenheim, and the practice server is up. Get yourself signed up if you haven't already, and especially those in the chat. If you want to get in on the action, DTM coming up on some very well-known circuits. We'll see you then. And we'll see you for the first round of DTM. So, that's going to do it there. Emotions, drama, shock, and every word you can say. To, yeah, put that down there. Holy, that was hell. We'll see you next week. Let's catch all our breaths and get ready for Hockenheim.